Hi everyone, it's Eva Benmeleh. I figured I should introduce myself because I've never done that yet here on social media. So who am I? I'm Eva. I was born in Maracaibo, Venezuela, but I moved to the United States, to Miami, when I was about 6, 7 years old. And my father is Greek, my mother is Costa Rican, so essentially I'm Venezuelan because I was born there. I love arepas and cachapas and tequeños, and that's as far as my Venezuelanness goes. Why am I telling you such a minute thing about who I am? Because from a very young age, I had to figure out categories and labels, and how a lot of the times when we set ourselves up to categorize ourselves as being Venezuelan or being white or Jewish or whatever, we get really stuck and we miss out on all the intricacies that involve in making a human being unique and individual. So that's a side note and segue. What else? I'm a mother of 2 lovely, wonderful children who are my biggest teachers, and I love them so dearly. Raquel, who is 10, and Rashi, who is almost 8 years old. They teach me so much about the real truths of motherhood, and that no matter how hard I try and how many books I read and the therapy and the meditations and all of the self-help stuff, that at the end of the day, it's about making the process and the process progress with regards to my children, and being a role model that they look up to, that they trust, and that they know loves them unconditionally. In the beginning of my process in therapy, I kept saying, I want to do this because I want to be a better mom. And so many of the moms that I work with say that. I'm here because I want to be a better parent to my child. And if I were to have continued in that path of doing any of this for the sake of my children, and if I were to continue to teach my clients, okay, let's talk about discipline and all of those wonderful things so that you could be a better parent, I would be part of the problem instead of the solution. Because the truth of the matter is that your life, my life as individuals, is important, whether or not you're a parent, whether or not you're doing it for the sake of your children. Enough with us putting ourselves last. Enough with putting ourselves second to our children. Enough with putting ourselves as the only and most important aspect of our life is motherhood. Because we are way more than that. We are individuals with needs, with desires, with plans, with goals, with healing, with fun, with intelligence, with our whole psyche and world inside of our brain that goes beyond motherhood. In no way, shape, or form am I dissing motherhood or parenthood or anything like that. But in order for us to make any sort of positive change, be it with our children, our significant others, friends, family, work, whatever, health, it has to start because we are putting ourselves first, because we are important. We are important to take care of ourselves, to understand the ins and outs of everything that has to do with the way that we view the world. So that's that. Perfectionism. Perfectionism is a huge deal to me because I am a recovering perfectionist. And having worked with little ones from as little as 1.5 years with their parents through adolescents and children and adults, I started noticing that so much anxiety and depression stems from this notion that we are not enough. That in order to be loved, we have to fit the bill. We have to tick off the checklist, and we have to look for people to tick off the checklist for us in order to have a special type of life. And it wasn't until I started noticing these patterns within myself, and then also working through them and helping others work through them, that I really started to see many of the changes that I see that are positive, that are finding life worth living, not because of the successes and the positive outcomes that we create for ourselves and for others, but because we just are. It's a work in progress because it's a huge belief system that we have to deconstruct left, right, and center. Because society likes for us to think that in order for us to be worthy, we need to also be doing all of these things to merit the worth. I'm trying to think what else. I speak Spanish, hablo español. Music is incredibly important to me. I love it. It's part of my own type of work. Not that I'm a musician, but I love listening to all types of music. I connect, and I think it's amazing when our children love to dance and sing and connect to music. It's a way of our releasing a lot of the intellectualization and the analyzation that we do, and just connect with the flow of how sounds can make us connect to our own feelings. I've said the word connect too much, but I think you get what I mean. Holistically, exercise and nutrition also very important to me. When I work with anyone, we're always talking about not just the sit down talk therapy aspect of the mind work, of the psychology work, but how are you taking care of yourself all around? Are you incorporating fun activities? Are you moving your body and exercising? Are you getting that blood flow going? Are you feeding your body with foods? And not that everything has to be super nutritious and all of that, because I don't believe in that either. But are you taking care of yourself all around? What are you listening to? What are you watching on TV? All of that is part of our day-to-day diet that affects not just our feelings and our emotions and how we look at ourselves, but also how we function in our world. And then we can also impart that to our children. And I think that's it for now. A little bit about me that I wanted to share, so you guys get to get a little feel for who I am and the sorts of things that I stand for. If you have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to reach out. I hope you have a great day. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.